Fran, do you know what I think the #1 reason for people beginning to quilt?
I don't know. What is it?
Babies.
Oh, keep watching.
Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan with Fabric Café.
Fran, do you remember what was the impetus for you to begin to quilt?
Well, I think actually it was you, because you were learning how to quilt and you made a quilt for Blake, my baby.
That's right. When I found out that Fran was going to have a baby, my first grandchild, I got busy and bought fabric and started sewing. And I want you to know my very first quilt was hand-pieced.
Wow.
I did not have a pattern. I just kind of made it up. And
it was darling.
It was cute.
So cute. I still have that quilt today. It is the most special thing.
I remember that Blake used it for years and years and years.
He did.
Yeah.
So I know that making quilts for babies is definitely one of my favorite things to do. And we have some really great quilts to show you today.
Well, let's show.
Let's do.
All right, I'll get started. The very first one that we're going to show you, this pattern is great for kids. It goes together very, very fast, and you can show off wonderful novelty prints up here with a little 4 patch underneath, and you'll have a quilt just like that. It won't take you the whole 9 months.
You can get this one done in a day, probably.
That's right. And isn't this adorable?
Oh, I love it.
I think little girls like to play with the trucks too, you know, like maybe get the dump truck and put their dolls in them and scoot them around. But the little boys, oh my gosh, I just saw it over and over and over again. They would grab those little trucks and things, and they loved playing with them and hauling things around and playing in the dirt.
Well, way back then, if I saw this fabric, I would want this for little Blake.
Yes, I think so too. Little Blake is a little over 30 now.
That's right.
Okay, so this is the fabric that's #1. It's going to go in the largest position of the quilt. And then you have 3 1-yard cuts. So your second and third color, you compare those two and pick out the lightest one for #2 and the darkest one for #3. Now, we'll tell you a little secret. Now, you might be looking at this saying, how can you pick a black to be the #2? It's because it has so much light in the background.
Right, right.
Now, that's going to go in the light position, and then the dark position is going to be this fabric on the border and in the alternating
That is so great.
4 patch. So it's a real simple way to quilt, and we'll be showing you more information about that as we go along in the video, because you always use 3 yards. You always have a first, second, and third position. This one is called Brightly Building 8022069. The pattern is Checkmate, and it's available as an individual or in the book Quilts for Kids.
So cute. So our next quilt that we're going to show is called Overnight Sensation. And it is truly an overnight sensation because these are great size blocks here. They really go together quickly with a nice wide sashing to give it a little bit of a punch and a frame. Let's check out the fabric for that one. Now, I just think this is the sweetest fabric.
It is.
If Blake was a little girl, I probably would have done this, but I just love it. It's just so sweet. So our roses here on our focus fabric will go in this block here, and then our #2, which is this great polka dot that coordinates so perfectly, will go in the sashing, and then our #3 fabric, which is kind of a duplicate print. It's almost like a double focus fabric as our #3, and it will go in the alternate block here, which I just love this.
You know, one thing about this one is if I designed this with that #2 fabric in the sashing, and this is a good place for you to show off a sashing fabric that has a little bit more of a print to it, but still be the lighter color.
Right, right. And I love that because this is a nice wide sashing and it does show more of the print. So I do really, really like that. So this quilt is called Sweet Moments. The number is 8022070. And the pattern was Overnight Sensation from the Easy Does It book, or the alternate pattern that we recommend is Dash.
All right. Well, let me show you what we've got next. This one is called Broad Strokes. Broad Strokes is a pattern that was designed to be the easiest one in the book. We do have quite a few books, and every book has a very easy pattern. This one's called Broad Strokes. It's made to go together very, very quickly and show off two of the focus fabrics, or the number 1 and the number 2, really well. So let's see this, and we've got some pieces and parts with this one.
Good. I love pieces and parts.
Yes. Now I'm gonna show you the diagram. So this particular quilt, all of our quilts has this black and white diagram, and it has the polka dots for the number 1 fabric, which is your focus fabric. It'll have the light and the dark as a white and a black box.
Perfect.
So you can see how the fabric is going to be placed in the quilt. And in the books, we also give you an example with the 3 pieces of fabric that we used. So once again, you can get that visual. So
makes it super easy.
It does make it easy. Now this particular quilt has the most adorable fabric. Look at this.
This is so cute.
These little dinosaurs are going to be adorable on this quilt. So you will just cut following the cutting instructions. You're going to make these blocks out of one long strip, and then you're going to make a strip pieced section, and it's the width of the fabric, 3 different pieces. Now once you do that, then you cut what we call units. Now sometimes we'll cut the units off of the side right down here.
Okay.
This one, look at this unit. It's cut off, but it's actually a rectangular shape.
Yeah.
You would look at this and think I'm going to cut something little.
Right.
Because that's what we usually do.
We usually do. And then you turn it and it makes the block.
Right. Isn't that cool?
That
so
is
it's
so
cut off of
clever.
there, and then you just put it up against here. Now we do have the seam allowances on this, so you can see where we're going to be sewing those together. And that is what the row is all about. And you've got a directional fabric. You'll make part of your rows in going with the dinosaurs going the right way, and then you can make the other ones whenever you're turning them.
Right.
So they'll just always work for you. Isn't that cute?
That is so cute.
Yeah, I like that.
Good choice. And this is the perfect pattern for this fabric.
Oh, dinosaurs never go out of style, girl or boy. They just like them. They're just intrigued by something that's so huge that once upon a time walked on this earth. Amazing. All right, so our number 1 fabric are the dinosaurs. The number 2 fabric, when you take this out of the equation, you'll have light and dark. And the number 2 is all of the noise, the grrr and the roar and all of that. You know, and that's part of the fun of having the little dinosaurs. And then the polka dot that we have here just goes together so well, bringing in all those different colors. This one is called Dino Roar 8022071. Broad Strokes Quilts on the Double is the pattern, the book that pattern is in, but we have a secondary suggestion, which would be So Quick.
Very cute. So our next quilt is Balance. And this is another one that I designed for the On the Double book. And I think it's a lot of fun because it just has the simple blocks set with a rectangular block so that it kind of looks like the rocks that are stacked and balancing or something like that. I don't even know what those are called, but those little rock stacks, I just always thought they were cool. That was kind of the inspiration for this. Now we have a really fun kit for this. Let's look at that. So this kit, it's kind of, I have to see these flowers and I think they're kind of those retro, but you know, I don't know if they were 50s or 60s, but they were kind of in that neighborhood.
They may have even pushed into the 70s.
Well, maybe so. Maybe that's one of them.
Don't you remember the flowers that people used to, when you were a little girl, and they'd put them on the side of their Volkswagen?
Oh,
they were like vinyl peel off.
The love bugs.
Yes.
Oh, yes. But that's what it makes me think of, kind of an updated modern version. It's just so fun. So this would be our focus fabric, and it's going to go inside the blocks here and then on the border. Now, we did a little something different. Normally what you do is take the focus fabric out of the equation, and then you compare the other 2 fabrics. Normally, number 2 is the lightest, but in this case, it is the darkest. And we did that because after looking at the placement of the fabric, I decided that I wanted the polka dot, the number 2, to be the polka dot in the background, and then the yellow to frame the border. So I just think the yellow gave a nice pop and contrast around that border.
And you know what? That is one of the beauties of the 3-yard quilts. You have got.
Yeah, you do.
You have exactly the same amount of fabric in every position, so you can easily choose to change that around. You don't have to worry about whether you're going to have enough fabric as long as you cut what we asked you to cut in each position.
Yeah, so you really can change it up a little bit, and I like that. So in this case, we did that and took a little liberty and made, I think, a darling quilt, and this is just going to be precious.
I like it.
So this is called, the kit is Lazy Daisies. The number is 8022072. It is the balance pattern from Quilts on the Double. Now that pattern is only available in the book, so we are recommending an alternative of Pinwheel +1.
All right. Okay, the next one that we're going to show you, this pattern is called 9+1, and we don't have this fabric, but I think it'll just be adorable in any kind of kid fabric that you want to show off in the motif in this area, along with the 9 patch. We'll put that up here and see this cute fabric. This one's called Playtime, and it has like these little stuffed animals that you always have around your babies and kids.
Right.
And they will adopt one that will become their very favorite. So this particular one is going to be your focus fabric, and that's going to go in your largest block. And then you have your yellow, and I think this is the cutest stripe.
It really is.
This stripe is going to go here in the 9 patch. And then your number 3, look how that picks up that teal that's in there. Isn't that fun?
Oh my goodness, that's perfect.
And of course, you know, babies are the star of our lives.
Yes.
And so the little turquoise is going to go here as the alternate color and in your border. And that is going to be adorable.
It will be.
So this one is this one is called Playtime. It's 8022073. That's 9+1, which is in the book, Quilts for Kids, but it's also available as an individual pattern. So you can take either one of the patterns free with every quilt, or you can get the book when you buy 3 kits and skip the little patterns. And when you do that, you get 8 patterns with 3 kits.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the book
That's
has
really
8
awesome.
patterns.
So our next quilt here is called Button Box, and I think this is so cute. Now my mom designed this one, and I love the way she made this block look a little bit like a button. So she's got a whole quilt full of buttons for her button box here, and it's got this nice big block as well so that you can really show off a focus fabric. Let's check out the kit for that. So here we have pieces and parts. Yay!
It's so much fun to see how the book blocks go together.
They really do. It is really so much fun. So as we mentioned before, it is all stepped out with the dot as number 1, the white as number 2, and the black as number 3. So in this case, you know, this block looks like it could be a little tricky, but it's so simple to put together. So let's show you how we've done that. The first step is going to be making a simple strip assembly. And basically we have just put 2 strips of fabric sewn together on their long edges. And then we're going to cut a unit off. Let's see if we can see this. Just like that. So you can see that this is just a slice off. I know we mentioned that before when we were doing broad strokes. So we're going to cut 2, hang on. Then we're going to take this one and put it with this. And that creates a block. And then we are going to sew just a plain block onto that. So we have this kind of a long piece. And as you can see, that kind of creates this right here.
Here's the cropper if you want to show them where that is.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, and I showed you that one. I'm going to show this one over here because it's kind of going this, you know what, let's do this. Joop, joop, joop. That's how it's going to go. So
That's
it looks
the way
exactly
you're looking at
the
it.
same. Yeah, so that you can see how it is exactly the same here. So very simple block to put together, very fast. And then we're going to make 2 of those. You're going to have this one here, and then you're just going to turn it and flip-flop it and put it on the other side and sew them together. Super simple.
It's always
super
so much
easy.
fun when we're designing and coming up with these blocks, and you're going, what's the easiest way to put this together? I love it.
We really enjoy that. I mean, that's part of, it's almost like a puzzle that you don't know the end result. You don't know what the picture's going to be until you put it together.
That's good.
So I have a finished block here, so we can put this down. Is that not the most adorable thing? And then we have our so sweet babies here that we're going to put with that as our focus fabric. So here's our cropping tool. And so that you can see what that's going to look like. And
this has kind of that retro look to it.
it really does. And I like this so much. I just think it's so precious. It's so sweet.
I like it too.
All right, so let's look at the kit for that so we can talk about this fabric some more. Love pieces and parts. So glad we have those.
Yes.
So this is our focus fabric, and it has these really sweet kind of, like you said, retro or vintage feel to this. So I really like that. And of course it goes perfectly with the number 2 and the polka dots. And then our number 3 with the pink polka dots.
Oh, that's so
Picks
cute.
up all the pink, and the turquoise dots goes, oh, it's just perfect.
Are you getting excited?
Babies? No babies for me.
No babies for you.
Maybe in the future in another way. All right, the kit for this, the number is 8022074, and it is called Cute as a Button, and the pattern was Button Box. It is in the book Quilts in a Jiffy, or we are suggesting an alternate pattern of Sugar Pie.
Awesome. Okay. Well, you know, this must be my day to get to do dinosaurs. Okay, well, now we do have a Dino quilt here, but we don't have this particular fabric available. But we showed you the real cute ones a little bit earlier, and we've got some more dinosaur fabric we're going to share with you. This is great for that. It's kind of a little modern asymmetrical block. It has the big block here that's bordered, and then we just border it on the opposite side so that you can get this great look, and it just keeps the movement going in the quilt. So we'll put that one up here, and look at these colorful dinosaurs. I like these. They're great.
Fun.
So you've got your dinos, or your number 1 fabric. It's going to go right here in the largest block, and then we're going to border one of them with this fabric here. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the background fabric.
Right. Okay.
So I was getting ready to do a different pattern where you border the different blocks. But this is your background fabric. It's going to go here. That background fabric always helps to pop your design. And we kind of play with colors. So, and then the shading or the value of the different colors. And so then we're going to put this as your trim on every block, and it also borders the quilt as well.
How fun.
So this one is going to be a fun one. So there's another choice for you when it comes to dinos, and it's 8022075 Dino Dance Party, and it even has a little confetti there.
Confetti, that's okay. Got it.
All right, 80. Oh, I've already read the number. This is Bold Blocks. It's from the book Pretty Darn Quick,
So
and it's
cute.
available as an individual as well.
So cute. Well, our next quilt is called Park Place, and I really like Park Place because it's kind of a spin off of a traditional, like normally you would see a 4-patch made from squares, and this one's actually made from more of a rectangle, which I think adds a lot of interesting dimension to it. So let's see what kind of kit we have for that. So we have, jungle cats. Yee. This is fun. I love this.
That is fun.
Okay, so I have to tell another story on Blake. He's probably crawling under the table now, but
If he's watching. No.
If he's watching. Blake loved Jungle Book when he was a kid. He would watch that was the movie, you know, when you have kids, they have one movie that they just love and they watch over and over and over, and then they recite all the lines from Jungle Book and
sing all the songs.
Loved it.
And, yeah, that's funny.
So this makes me think of him also. So our focus fabric has these fun jungle cats and monkeys and leaves and birds, and it's just bright and colorful and so much fun. And that will go in our big block here. And then our number 2 with the stars, a perfect jungle cat color for our number 2. And that is going to be bordering the blocks as well as on the border. And then our fun green, look how fun that is together. That's the...
You know, what's funny is that you could do this for a little girl, and this is like clothing nowadays.
It is. Oh my goodness, it's so popular. And then
So
that
cute.
will be the sashings and borders here, as well as the alternate color on our 4-patch. So much fun.
Love it.
And this is called Jungle Paradise, and the number is 8021807. It's the Park Place pattern that is in the Fast and Fun book, and it's also available as an individual pattern. Now, there are only a few left of this, so this is considered a last chance. So you might want to grab a few of these before they're gone.
That's right. And you know, to keep this in mind, you may be making a quilt for an older child and their twin bed when they get to grow up a little bit. So if you want to make it bigger than the lap quilt or a child size quilt, you would make it with 2 kits and it would become a twin.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And the instructions for that are in the books, not in the little patterns on how to enlarge your quilts. But we do have a great package of quilts. These are our top 10 patterns for 2021. They sold the best, and they were hands down the ones our customers liked best. And you remember this, if you fall in love with any of these fabrics, that any 3 yards will work with any one of our patterns. So if you want to take advantage of this great deal, then we do have all 10 patterns available in one package at a discounted price. So you'll want to check that out.
That is awesome.
Well, this has been fun.
It has been a lot of fun, and I'm feeling lots of baby love.
Always. That's not. I see babies at the grocery store, and I just want to go and go. Choo, 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 choo.
You want a quilt?
We'll have to start making more quilts for babies.
Yes, they are really a lot of fun. Well, I enjoyed this so much, and be sure if you're not already a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button
And the bell.
and the bell so you're notified, and like us and share us with your friends.
It's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan, thanks so much for joining us.